Welcome back to Self-Proofing, AI, Money, and You, the show where we strip away the noise and hand you the exact systems that are powering the next generation of creators.
I am Jordan, and I have been building my own faceless content business for about 2 years now. So everything we talk about today is stuff I have personally tested in the trenches. And I am Dr. Maya, and my work sits right at the intersection of artificial intelligence research and practical creator strategy. So I will be bringing the technical layer to everything Jordan shares.
Today is episode 5, and we are calling it Tools, Strategies, and Systems Powering the Next Generation of Creators.
This is the one I have been most excited about because we are not just talking theory today. Exactly right, Alex. We are going to walk through the full picture, from the mindset shifts that separate sustainable creators from burnout cases, all the way down to the specific tools you can open on your laptop today. And we are going to do it in a way that actually makes sense, because there is so much noise out there about AI tools right now. So much noise. I see a new best AI tool for creators post every single day, and most of them are just affiliate links dressed up as advice. That is a really important point, Jordan, because tool selection without a strategic framework is just expensive distraction.
So before we even name a single tool, we want to give you the framework for thinking about tools in the first place.
Because the tool is never the answer on its own. The system is the answer, and the tools just serve the system. Let that land for a second. The system is the answer, and the tools just serve the system. When I finally understood that, everything clicked. I stopped chasing shiny new apps and started asking what gap in my workflow actually needs filling. That question alone will save you hundreds of dollars a month in subscriptions you do not need. So let us set the stage. If you're new to the show, this is part of our self-proofing course series, and episode 5 is where we bring everything together with a live, practical walkthrough. We covered idea validation in earlier episodes, we covered outlines and scripting, and now we are showing you how it all locks together with the right tools and systems. Think of today as the integration episode. We are connecting all the dots. Perfect way to put it, Maya. Let us get into it.
So, Jordan, let us start where most creators start, which is staring at a blank screen and wondering what to make next.
Oh, I lived in that place for way too long, and it is genuinely painful.
What does that actually look like for a new creator who has not found their system yet?
You wake up, you scroll through YouTube for an hour looking for inspiration, you write down 3 vague ideas, you convince yourself one of them is great, and then you spend 4 hours scripting something that gets 40 views.
And the painful part is that the effort and the result have almost no relationship to each other in that scenario, which is demoralizing.
Completely demoralizing. And that is actually the setup for burnout. Not one big exhausting moment, but a slow erosion of motivation from repeated effort that does not pay off.
What Jordan is describing maps almost exactly onto what we call the creator death loop, where you get motivated, you create, you get disappointing results, you lose motivation, and then you repeat the cycle until you quit.
So the loop is not broken by working harder. It is broken by working smarter.
Specifically, it is broken by replacing guessing with validation.
And that is the first system we want to talk about today, which is the idea validation system.
Walk us through it, Jordan.
The core insight is that you should never create a piece of content before you know there is demand for it.
And demand here means proven audience pain, not just a topic you find interesting.
Right. So the first move is to use AI as your audience researcher, not your idea generator. Those are 2 very different jobs.
That distinction is huge. Can you say more about that?
When you ask AI to generate ideas, you get generic topics that have been recycled 1,000 times. When you ask AI to analyze audience behavior, you get real emotional patterns from real people. The prompt we use goes something like this. Act as a YouTube audience researcher. Analyze the pain points, frustrations, misconceptions, and desires of viewers interested in a specific topic. Then group your findings into 5 to 7 themes.
And that changes what AI gives you back entirely.
Completely. Instead of a list of video titles, you get a map of human psychology around that topic. That is invaluable. I ran that prompt for my personal finance niche, and it surfaced patterns I had never thought to address. Things like the shame around admitting you do not have an emergency fund, or the confusion about whether a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA is better for someone in their 20s.
Those are emotionally loaded topics that people are actively searching for answers on.
Exactly. And those are the videos that perform.
So once you have those emotional patterns from the AI research, what do you do with them, Maya?
You run them through a 3-part validation check before you commit any production time to an idea. This takes about 3 minutes once you know the process.
3 minutes is nothing.
What are the 3 checks? First, you check search signals by typing your idea into YouTube search and seeing if autocomplete suggests related queries. That tells you people are actively searching. If YouTube is auto-completing your topic, that is a real demand signal, not a guess. Second, you check emotional density. You look at comments on existing videos about that topic and ask whether people are expressing frustration, confusion, or strong desire.
So you are looking for heat in the comments.
Exactly. Passionate comments, even negative ones, mean the topic matters to people. Third, you check for a content gap. You look at what already exists and ask whether there is a unique angle that has not been covered well, or whether the existing content is outdated or poorly produced. That last one is where faceless creators have a real edge, because a lot of high-demand topics have outdated videos ranking at the top.
So you can walk in with fresh, well-structured content and take that traffic.
That is exactly the play.
And how do you score these checks? Is it a pass-fail situation?
We use a simple traffic light system. Green means proceed, yellow means proceed with caution, and red means rework or abandon the idea. If you get 2 out of 3 green lights, you are good to create. 2 out of 3. That is a reasonable bar without being so strict that you never make anything. Right, because perfect validation does not exist. You are just trying to remove the obvious losers before you spend time on them. The goal is to shift your hit rate from random to reliable. You will not win every time, but you will stop wasting time on ideas that had no chance. I love that framing. Shift from random to reliable. Once I started doing this, my content hit rate went way up. And just as importantly, my stress went way down because I was not gambling every time I hit publish. That psychological shift is underrated. When you know your idea is validated before you create it, the whole production process feels different.
Less anxiety, more confidence, better work. All of the above. All right, so you have a validated idea. Now what is the next system that kicks in?
This is where the content velocity system takes over, and this one genuinely changed my life.
That is a strong claim. Back it up.
Before this system, I was spending somewhere between 4 and 6 hours per video. After implementing it, I was down to about 1 hour of focused work per video. That is not an exaggeration. The velocity system is built on 5 principles that individually save time and together create an almost compounding effect on your efficiency.
Let us go through all 5. Start with the first one, Maya.
The first principle is batching, which means grouping similar tasks together instead of completing one full video before starting the next. So instead of researching, scripting, and recording video 1, then starting over for video 2, you research all 3 videos on Monday, script all 3 on Wednesday, and record all 3 on Friday.
Your brain stays in one mode the whole time.
That is exactly right. Context switching is one of the biggest hidden time thieves in creative work, and batching eliminates it. Batching alone saves close to 40% of my production time. That is not nothing.
40%? That is almost half your week back. What is the second principle?
Templates. Every project should start 50% complete by default. I have templates for my research prompts, my script structure, my thumbnail brief, my upload checklist, everything. I am never starting from zero.
And templates do not mean your content sounds cookie cutter?
Not at all. Think of it like a house. The blueprint is the template. The interior design is your creativity. You're not rebuilding the walls every time. You're just decorating them differently. The third principle is the 80-20 filter, which is about identifying the 20% of your effort that drives 80% of your results.
So not all production effort is equal?
Absolutely not. Your validated idea, your hook, your promise delivery, and your basic audio quality drive almost all of your video performance. Color grading and complex transitions barely move the needle. I used to spend 2 hours on visual polish that viewers genuinely did not care about. Now I spend that time on the hook, because the hook determines whether anyone watches at all.
Focus your perfectionism where viewers actually notice it. That should be a rule everyone prints out. What are the fourth and fifth principles of the content velocity system?
The fourth is energy alignment, which is the practice of matching your tasks to your mental state throughout the day. This one sounds soft, but it is incredibly practical. Your brain has different energy levels at different times of day, and fighting that is exhausting.
So what goes where in the day?
High creative energy goes to ideation and scripting, because those tasks demand your best thinking. Medium energy goes to recording and basic editing. Low energy goes to file organization, uploading, and scheduling. I am a morning person, so my first 2 hours of the day are scripting only. No emails, no social media, just the creative work that matters most.
And the fifth principle?
Automation. But the key distinction here is that you automate the logistics, not the creativity. Let AI handle transcription, captions, file organization, and scheduling. But your creative decisions, your voice, your strategic choices, those stay human.
Because those are the things that actually differentiate you.
Precisely. Automation frees your time and attention so you can pour them into the things only you can do. The 5 principles together, batching, templates, the 80-20 filter, energy alignment, and smart automation, they do not just save time individually. They compound. Each one multiplies the effect of the others.
That is the velocity part of the content velocity system.
You are no longer moving at a constant slow speed. You are accelerating every week as the system gets tighter. And because you are validated before you create, you are also moving in the right direction. Speed plus direction equals real progress.
I want to ask about the mental side of this too. Because even with a great system, there is still a voice in your head that says you are not doing enough.
Oh, that voice is loud when you start. And it is worth addressing directly, because the psychological dimension of creator sustainability is genuinely underestimated.
Say more about that, Maya.
Most creators define productivity by hours worked rather than output quality. When you shift to a system-based workflow, you do less that feels like work, but you produce more high-quality results. That dissonance can feel uncomfortable at first. I felt guilty the first few weeks when I finished my content work in 2 hours instead of 6. I kept thinking I was missing something.
But the results told a different story?
The results were better, and I had my life back.
Let us move into the outlining system, because I know this is something a lot of creators either skip entirely or do in a way that does not actually help them.
I was absolutely in the skip it camp for way too long. I thought scripting and outlining were the same thing.
They are not, and the distinction matters enormously for retention. Your outline determines your hook quality, your pacing, your retention curve, and ultimately your watch time. Your script just fills in the words. So, the outline is the architecture? Exactly. Think of it this way. The outline is the blueprint. The script is the interior decoration. No amount of beautiful writing fixes a structurally flawed plan. And once I understood that, I started spending more time on outlines and less time on polishing scripts. My retention numbers went up immediately. So what does a high retention outline actually look like? We use a 7-part framework. Each part serves a specific psychological purpose in keeping the viewer engaged. The first part is the pattern interrupt hook, which lands in the first 15 seconds and immediately disrupts the viewer's default expectations. The hook works because the human brain is wired to pay attention when something unexpected happens. You are essentially hijacking that reflex. What comes after the hook? Stakes amplification, from about 15 to 45 seconds in. This is where you make the problem feel real and urgent. Stakes answer the unconscious question every viewer is asking, which is, why should I keep watching this? You have to make them feel like the cost of leaving is too high. And then comes the promise? Yes, around the 1-minute mark, you deliver the promise bridge, which tells the viewer exactly what they are going to get from watching the rest of the video. The promise has to be specific and credible. Vague promises are ignored. Specific promises are believed. Give me an example of the difference. Vague would be something like, today we will talk about growing on YouTube. Specific would be, I will give you a 5-point diagnostic to find exactly why your channel is not growing despite consistent posting. Night and day. The specific version gives the viewer a reason to stay because they can picture the value they are about to receive. And you are making a contract with them. You promise something specific and your video delivers it. I love that framing. You are making a contract with the viewer.
We have covered the hook, the stakes, and the promise. What are the remaining 4 parts of the retention framework?
Part 4 is the curiosity ladder, which runs throughout your main content. This is where you open and close loops deliberately to keep momentum going. A curiosity loop means you tease something coming up before you deliver something right now. You are always giving value while creating the need to keep watching.
Like a TV show that answers one question but opens 2 more?
That is precisely the mechanism. The brain finds open loops uncomfortable and wants to close them, so it keeps watching. Part 5 is validation moments, where you prove your claims with real data, examples, or case studies throughout the video. Validation is crucial because modern viewers are skeptical. They have been burned by clickbait too many times. When you consistently prove your points, you build trust that compounds across your channel.
And the 6th part?
Loop closure. In the final minutes, you circle back to the opening tension and resolve it. You answer the implicit question that you raised in the hook. This gives viewers a satisfying sense of completion, which is what drives them to like, comment, and subscribe, because they feel the experience was complete.
And the 7th part?
The action catalyst. One clear, specific next step for the viewer. One action. Not 3, not 5. 1. The brain is much more likely to act when there is no decision to make about which action to take.
So the whole framework is hook, stakes, promise, curiosity ladder, validation, closure, action.
That is the full 7. And once you internalize it, building an outline takes about 15 minutes. And you can use AI to assist with each section. The outline becomes the backbone that guides everything else you generate.
I want to pause on that because I think a lot of people underestimate how much an AI-assisted outline speeds up the scripting phase.
It is dramatic. When I feed my completed outline into an AI writing workflow, the script almost writes itself because the structure is already locked in. You are giving AI a clear job to do, rather than asking it to make open-ended creative decisions. That is the difference between a useful AI output and a generic one. Which brings us perfectly into the script writing system, which I know Jordan has a lot of experience with in practice.
Jordan, walk us through how you actually use AI to write scripts without losing your voice in the process.
This is honestly the thing I get asked about most, and the answer is simpler than people expect. You have to be extremely clear with AI about who you are before you ask it to write anything.
What does that mean practically?
Before I generate a single line of script, I give AI my voice definition. That is a short document that tells it my tone, my audience, my sentence style, my favorite phrases, words I never use, and my energy level. Think of it as giving AI a character brief. The more specific the brief, the more your output sounds like you, rather than like a generic AI writing sample.
And then what is the writing process itself?
I use a 5-step co-writing workflow. Step 1 is to feed AI my complete validated outline. Never start from scratch, always start from structure. Step 2 is to confirm your voice definition is active in the prompt context. Do not make AI guess who you are. Step 3 is to generate section by section, rather than asking for the entire script at once. This keeps you in control of the creative direction throughout.
Why does section by section matter so much?
Because when you ask for a full script at once, AI makes hundreds of micro decisions that may not align with your intent. Section by section lets you review and course correct after each piece. Step 4 is to use AI to expand and tighten. Sometimes a section needs more depth. Sometimes it needs cutting. AI can do both, if you ask specifically.
And step 5?
The human filter pass. You read through everything out loud and inject your actual personality.
your specific examples, your personal references, your natural speech patterns. This is the step that makes the script yours. AI provides the structure and the speed. You provide the soul.
That is a beautifully clean division of labor. AI handles structure and speed, human handles soul.
And when AI scripts sound robotic, which they sometimes do, the fix is almost always to add contractions, shorten sentences, and swap abstract phrases for concrete examples. Every AI writing problem has a solution, if you know what to look for. Robotic tone needs contractions and pauses. Too long needs a 30% cut, keeping only essentials. Too generic needs specific real-world examples added. These are not hard fixes. They just require knowing that AI is the first draft, not the final one. Exactly. AI is your very fast first draft writer. You are the editor and the voice artist.
Let us talk about the tools layer now, because everything we have discussed runs on specific tools, and I know listeners are eager to hear names.
Yes, but I want to quickly revisit Maya's earlier point, that tools serve the system, not the other way around. With that framing in mind, here are the categories I actually use. There are 4 functional layers where tools matter: idea research and validation, script generation, production workflow management, and publishing and distribution.
Let us go layer by layer. What tools live in the research and validation layer?
For AI-powered audience research, I use large language models with the custom prompt framework we described. For search signal validation, I use YouTube itself and keyword tools that show search volume data. The key is that the tool is executing a defined process, not replacing your judgment. You are using data to confirm or deny what your research already suggested.
And the script generation layer?
AI writing tools with a good context window, so you can hold your entire outline and voice definition in one session. The quality of your prompts matters far more than which specific AI tool you use. That is an important point. Creators spend too much time platform hopping looking for the perfect AI writer when the real variable is prompt quality and process discipline.
So learn to prompt well, and your tool of choice will serve you adequately. 100%. For production workflow, I use a simple project management tool to track each video through the stages, from idea to published. The stage gates are research complete, validation passed, outline approved, script finalized, recorded, edited, thumbnail ready, and scheduled. Each stage has a checklist. That checklist means nothing falls through the cracks, and you never publish something that skipped a step. What about the financial side of all this? Because the course is called Self-Proofing AI Money and You, and we have not talked about money yet. Great timing. The money conversation is really about where you invest your production budget for maximum return, and the answer almost always surprises people. Invest in research and validation first, before anything else. A validated idea on a budget production will outperform a beautiful video about something nobody wanted to watch. After that, invest in audio quality, because bad audio kills viewer retention faster than almost any other variable. Not the camera, not the lighting, but the audio? Audio first, always. Viewers forgive average visuals. They do not forgive hard-to-hear audio. After audio, invest in your system infrastructure, meaning your templates, your workflows, your automation tools. Because every dollar you put into infrastructure pays dividends across every video you ever make, not just the next one.
We are coming into the home stretch of today's episode, and I want to give our listeners something concrete they can act on this week.
I love this part, because everything we've talked about is only valuable if people actually do something with it.
So let us compress the entire system into a practical 7-day action plan.
7 days. Walk us through it.
Day 1 is setup day. You build your core templates, including your research prompt template, your outline template, and your script structure template.
Day 2 is energy mapping. You track your energy and focus levels throughout the day and identify your peak creative window, your medium energy window, and your low energy administrative window.
Day 3 is scheduling. You design your batch workflow calendar, blocking time for research days, scripting days, and recording days as separate dedicated sessions.
You are building the container before you try to fill it. That is smart.
Day 4 is research day. You use the AI audience research prompt to surface 10 potential content ideas in your niche. Day 5 is validation day. You run your top 3 ideas through the 3-check validation process and identify your best candidate for the week.
So by day 5, you know exactly what you are making and you know it is going to perform.
Day 6 is outline day. You build your high retention 7-part outline for that validated idea. This should take no more than 15 minutes with practice.
Day 7 is script day. You run your 5-step AI co-writing workflow, generate your script section by section, and do your human filter pass.
7 days. 1 complete, validated, high-quality script, and a system in place to repeat it forever.
What we have described today is not a shortcut. It is a more intelligent path. Every step has a purpose, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And the people who will win in the creator economy over the next 5 years are the ones who build these systems now, while most creators are still winging it.
That is the self-proofing part of self-proofing AI, money, and you. You are making yourself proof against the chaos by building structure underneath you.
From guessing to knowing, from burnout to velocity, from random to systematic.
That is the transformation, and it is absolutely available to anyone willing to do the work of building the system.
Thank you so much to Jordan and Dr. Maya for an incredible conversation today. If this episode gave you value, share it with one creator in your circle who needs to hear it.
And leave us a comment or a review. We read every single one, and they genuinely fuel our next episode.
Go build your system this week. You have everything you need.
We will see you in the next episode of Self-Proofing AI, Money, and You. Thank you for listening, and now go create something amazing.